Hello, Terry, again with Gold News and Views. And the question today is, so what do you actually do with all of this information? What do you do with gold right now? Well, depends on when you're watching this video, okay? But what should you do? Well, it depends on many things, doesn't it? So here's my honest answer. You do not need to become a gold fanatic, and you do not need to ignore gold either. So, again, a little of both. Have some balance there. Gold is playing multiple roles right now. It is a safe haven, always has been. It is a hedge against distrust in the paper systems, always has been. It is a diversification tool, always has been. And for some traders, it is a momentum trade. Well, that's where you probably want to be careful. When you see the word momentum, people rush into whatever. That's that song, Fools Rush In, where I don't know, smart people don't. I don't remember what it was exactly. But those are not the same thing, and that is why people get confused. And FINRA said something about that. It's kind of a takeoff as to what they said. But if you are a long-term investor, the idea of holding some gold as portfolio insurance still makes sense to many people. Does it make sense to you? If so, it might be good. If it doesn't make sense to you, if so, might be good. Think about that. But chasing a parabolic move after the headlines have already exploded is a different decision entirely. Now, that's where I think it's important for you to always subscribe, hit that notification bell or whatever it is, so that we can just stay in contact. And go ahead and share this video too with other people. But, we just need to communicate here, because what happens is, like with Bitcoin, a lot of people were like, oh, this isn't going to last and whatever, so they didn't do anything with it. If they had invested in it, they'd be far better off today. But they didn't know that. There's these business startups, and most businesses fail within the first 5 years. But the ones that do make it, if you invest in those businesses first of all, and they make it, well, then you made a lot. If you had invested in Coca-Cola years ago, if you had invested in Yahoo, Amazon, just name it, Nike, all of these companies, you'd be doing pretty well. But people, they don't do anything about gold. Shame on them. They didn't put just a little bit of their hard earning into gold. Shame on them. I mean, they should have had something in there maybe. What about silver? Get some of your money in silver. Come on, just a little bit. And soon I think copper and some of these other metals, but just put something in there, because if for the people that had had something in gold, they would have been far better off than if they hadn't put anything in there. And you know what I'm talking about. But what happens then, okay, person doesn't put anything in gold, all of a sudden it rises up to over $5,000 an ounce, and then they're like, oh, maybe I should put some money in gold. No, you don't have $5,000. But really, there's different things now, and so that's why I'm working with silver and all of that. But you don't have to do $5,000 worth of gold. You can work with that. But what if we're having this conversation and gold is at $10,000 in a year, 2 years, 10 years, whatever? I've seen this one guy saying that, and you probably have too. And he talks about, well, this is a brick of gold. Back in the 50s, it could have bought you a house. And this is X amount of money. And back in the 50s, this would have bought you a house. Now, the same amount of money, the same amount of gold today could buy you a couple of houses, maybe 3. But that money, no, 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 no. So anyway, I'm not telling you anything that you don't know. So my advice is simple. Slow down, think, learn the rules. Now, How can you learn the rules? Well, there's plenty of books out there, and like I mentioned, I have this book, and I'm also working on another book, and it should be out probably maybe a couple of months, or maybe it's already out by the time you are watching this video. But that's why you want to stay here, because if you stay connected, you might have an opportunity to get this new book at a drastically discounted price if you're one of the first people. That's what I'm talking about. Get in early, right? So if you're one of the first people to get the book, it'll be a lot less than normally. But we want to slow down. We want to learn the rules. And one way to do that, again, is you can, yes, look on YouTube. You can look on Google. You can read books like this and just get some education. Take some time. Don't just hear that your brother-in-law bought a bunch of gold. Oh, it's good enough for my brother-in-law. I should go ahead and do that. No, that's not how we do things. You learn the rules and ask about spreads, fees, storage, and liquidity. Now, gold, if you have it in your hand, well, if it's a block of gold and $5,000 worth, and paper money is no good, you're going to have to shave off part of that block to be able to buy some groceries or something. But if you have gold coins or something, obviously they're going to be a little bit more liquidity. You're going to be able to spend them a lot easier. But then the other thing is, you can have an ETF, and I've talked about that in different videos, and that's, you have more liquidity. It depends on what you're looking for, okay? And what your needs are. And that's why you pick up the phone and we have a 10-minute conversation. So if you're thinking about retirement money, remember the IRS rules are real and mistakes can be costly. Mistakes can be costly. That's a fact. So how can we avoid making mistakes? Well, work with somebody that knows something. Work with somebody that knows the rules. And you know what? I'm not going to tell you I know everything. I work with a lot of things as an entrepreneur and with my business, All Solutions Known. But I know enough to surround myself with people that are smart people. And if I don't know the answer, I find the answer. So remember, the IRS rules are real. Physical gold is real too. I want you to know that. But mistakes are also real and they can be costly. So the CFTC says rollover and self-directed IRA rules are complex. So talk to somebody who understands that, okay? And the IRS says that it does not approve IRA investments. So again, let's have a conversation. Let's work that out so that you understand what that is. Gold deserves to be taken seriously, but it also deserves to be handled intelligently. Okay, I've got a quote here, and I'm going to turn the page so I can find that quote for you. Here we are, and it's by the IRS. Well, the IRS does not approve IRA investments. So what does that mean? I want you to come back and watch a video, and I'll explain that. So gold may deserve a place in the conversation, but not every gold decision is a good one. So today, Terry Scott with Gold News and Views, we've talked about and I've explained how to think clearly, how to ask better questions, and what? Avoid costly mistakes. So let's talk again. Bye for now.